Rajni, just you can start in a minute or so. Yeah.
Hi all. This is Rajneesh Gupta from Dallas. I think you can see me. I can't see you. So I don't know how many followers. Can you make some noise so I know there are people on the call and you can hear me? Okay, I hear no noise at all, which means either you're on mute or you can't hear me. Looks like it'll take a minute or so to get live. I don't think we're live yet.
Yeah.
It's already live. Yeah.
So, Srinivas, do you see how many folks are on the Hangout?
Yes. Right now, 14 people are watching right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So guys, I need to know that you guys can hear me. So if you can hear me, get off mute and say Jai Gurudev so I know you can hear me.
Jai Gurudev.
Okay, I heard at least one person. Srinivas, do you have people on mute? Is that are you doing remote muting for everybody?
No, I don't have mute.
Okay, so should we just go ahead and get started, assuming everyone can hear us?
Let me check with.
Yes, I checked. Actually, they can see. They're live.
And they can hear us.
Yeah.
So we are going to assume it's working. This is kind of talking in the blind. You can see me, I cannot see you, but we'll make it fun. So welcome all. It's a total delight and pleasure to be on the hangout with you guys. We are waiting in a couple of moments. Jeff Hawk the Great is going to join us, and we are going to have some fun, share some wisdom, and talk about the courses that are coming up in presence of Sri Sri. But before Jeff joins, we have an esteemed panel here with Srinivas, Shantanu, and Arun. So I'll ask Arun and Shantanu to give us a very quick and brief update on the events and what's going on right now. Over to you, Arun and Shantanu.
Shantanu, go ahead.
Okay. Now I'm unmuted. So, Jai Gurudev, thank you everybody for joining. This is so exciting that Gurudev is coming to Texas. This is almost 2 years now, right? 2015 was when he was in Dallas. Most of you know that we're going to do the course at the ashram. Then it turned out that we selected a venue in San Antonio, and that was based on Guruji wanting to give that experience not only to the folks who have been with Art of Living for a long time, but also for the new folks. So we are doing everything that we can to make sure that we can ensure the experience that the participants are going to have when they come to our Art of Silence with Gurudev, and be in his grace. So we are not going to leave any stones unturned to make sure that we provide that experience. And obviously when Gurudev is there, everybody is going to get that experience. So there are a lot of things happening behind the scenes. Arun, do you want to jump on some of the high-level logistic stuff, and I can chime in if needed?
Sure. So as you all know, the course venue is going to be in San Antonio by the river walk. It's an amazing facility. I've not visited it personally, but I saw some of the pictures that Shantanu shared. It looks amazing. It has a private walkway to the river walk, a private access to the river walk. um, and it looks absolutely amazing. It's a very historic place, which actually hosts a lot of events there in San Antonio. So that's the venue that we are going to be in. And the reason we went there was because Guruji has himself set an intention to get more people to the course. He said we'll have about 600 plus people in the course. So that's the reason we moved there. Right now we are looking into the hotels around the river walk and also away from the river walk, so that it will have different price points. So you'll have various different options for accommodations that will be published by end of this week. We are negotiating group rates with the hotels. They are setting up private links for us to book accommodation. So they should be up by Friday or so, the private links. So apart from the silence course, we are also offering the Art Excel and S programs. So you can come as a family and do the course and be with Gurudev. Yeah. Childcare, I know there might be a question about childcare. We are actually exploring that option. We should have that, once we find a suitable childcare option, we will share that details also with you.
Yeah, Arun, I was going to share how we found the venue. Should I go ahead and do that?
Yes, yes.
It's amazing how things turn out. And we say that we're doing this, we're doing that, but things just happening, right? There is a video that I saw was floating around in some of our groups where Guruji talks about Shivaji and how he didn't want to rule the country, and it just so fitting to just understand what happened in San Antonio. So when we National talked to us and said that, hey, this is what Guruji wants to do, and we need to look for venue in San Antonio. We looked at every single hotel that possibly we could find that had a 8,000 square feet or more banquet hall. Even we went to some of the second tier hotels like the Hilton Garden Inn, right? Nothing. Everything was all the doors are closing. Then last Friday, I get a call from somebody from a hotel that we had already ruled out because they didn't have the big enough banquet hall. But she calls me. She said, it is so amazing what you guys are doing. It's going to help not only your folks but also the city. So and she said, then I said, well, we can find a venue, so we may not be able to do it here. We're going to move it somewhere else. Then she said, have you talked to this venue, the La Vita venue? That would be perfect because they have been doing the civic events for the last 55 years. They'll be perfect for your work, for your event. And guess what? I called them and she said, absolutely, we're available. Let's do it here. So, when every door is closing, Gurudev gives you, somebody comes to you saying, hey, go here because that's available. It was so amazing, so fitting, the way it happened. Well, Jeff is with us.
Yeah.
Jai Gurudev, Jeff.
Jai Gurudev, everybody. Hi.
Jeff, you won't hear most people because they're watching through the YouTube.
Okay. Oh, good.
There's plenty of people hearing you.
Oh, good. How many do we have on the call approximately?
Srinivas, do you know how many people are on the call?
Yeah, we have around 35 people are watching right now.
Oh, very nice. Good. Welcome, everybody from the East Coast, the Midwest, and I'm sure the West Coast. Also, is everyone as excited as I am that Guruji's coming to see us again?
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone must know how. If you see Guruji almost anywhere else in the world, the groups are so large, you can feel like you're getting But here in the US, we have such a wonderful opportunity to sit, to be close to, in the true sense of the word, with Gurji, whether there's 2 million people or 2 people there, it's the same. But there's something nice about the phenomenon of just being there with an intimate group of 500 or so people. So to me, having that opportunity here in your own backyard, so to speak, is just extraordinary. You know, Sri Sri is such a special master, teacher. I mean, how often has someone been on this planet that offers what he does to us? And to be able to have that, to take advantage of that. And how do we take advantage of it? Just to be in his presence, right? The transformation just happens by being with him. Silence. I remember when I took my first silence course a few years ago, back in 1988. It was the first silence course he did in North America. And it was at the Sky High Ranch. Good name for a venue that we had. We had 20 people on this silence course with Guruji. And I had already connected with Guruji through the introductory program. But I very quickly went on to take this silence course, having no idea what I was in for. But I realized so quickly that the introductory course, as amazing and transformative as it was just the tip of the iceberg. The silence course unfolded to me the depth of who I really was, and really the glory of who Guruji was, of what he was giving, what he was offering to us. And that many of you may have taken the silence course once, twice, thrice, or maybe not at all. But I've done the silence course, and now I teach it, but I must have done 50, 60 silence courses over the year with him. Each one is extraordinary with the amount of opening, connection, really becoming so poised, so centered, so comfortable in any situation. Not too long mind. I don't know if anyone saw that. It was fairly recently at the beginning of the year. I think he did that. And the key is to latch on to the unchanging. He says that is the key to managing your emotions and your mind, because our mind is what determines whether we're happy or we're unhappy. And if we're not able to manage that, then we're just a victim of our emotions, our thoughts, our situations. And every time we take the silence course, we have a deeper connection, reawakening to that unchanging aspect, so we can really enjoy all of the happenings around us as a true celebration. So Guruji says, just latch on to what's really true, that depth of who we are. So, and on that first silence course that I did, it was truly remarkable. You know, and even though there were just 20 there, I've done courses with him when there's been thousands of people. There's no difference, because that connection with Guruji, he says, is always one-to-one. Whether you're in that large crowd or you're in a smaller setting, doesn't matter, because he's there. He's connecting with you, not just as one of many. Just you are the one and only one. I'm sure if I could see you raise your hand, many of you who have been on courses, you feel that he's talking right to me, right to my heart, isn't it? And to have this opportunity, you know, I just can't imagine even putting a price tag. You know, when we say something is priceless, spending time with him is just priceless. I mean, what else really in this whole universe, in this whole creation, could be more worthwhile than to reconnect sincerely, honestly, easily to something that is beyond words, you know, beyond even anything that I'm saying. You know, anything I'm saying is just pointing to what we already know, that depth of our beauty. I really love that some of the advertising for the course is saying freedom and silence in Texas, because that's what Gurdjieff does. He says, you know, you move from to contentment and peace to freedom and then to unconditional love as your true nature. And so, you know, they're all sort of under the term Satchitananda. Satchitananda is a description of the ultimate reality of who we are, of what everything is. And usually the Ananda part is translated as bliss. And usually we think bliss is just, oh, so very, very, very happy. I can't control myself. But bliss is really so much more. Can you really be happy if you're not content and peaceful? No. Can you really be happy and peaceful if you don't feel free, if you feel you're bound and constricted, you don't feel free, you can't really feel that happiness and that peace. And likewise, are you really free if you have all of the peace, all of the joy, if you don't have that unconditional love springing up from your heart? So bliss is really a combination of unbounded joy, unshakable peace, unimaginable freedom, and unconditional love. And that's what Gurdjieff is reminding us about, not in words, but giving us that. So I don't want to say too much more in case some of you have questions. I'd like to answer those, but please join me. Don't even, if you're having some, just, I would say, don't even consider it. Just take the leap of faith. This is the right time. This is the right venue. This is just right for you. Give yourself that gift. Give your family the gift of you being able to take this course, so much more present and available for your family, your friends, your coworkers, really the whole planet.
Jeff, thanks for sharing that, and what you said about, you know, whether it's 20 people with him or 20,000, that experience of him just talking to you and you feeling like you're in that space with him personally near him has been a personal experience of many of us. Uh, there is a question from some of our volunteers that I want to start off with. Uh, Everybody wants to be in his presence, but a lot of our volunteers sometimes wonder that maybe if I don't register for the silence course, I'll have more chance to hang out with him, be close to him, rather than being in the silence program and meditating. So what would you say to those volunteers?
Forget about it. You know, even if you're there, and it's so charming to sort of be in that interactive mode with him, that outward mode. But the real connection with him, I see people who are so involved with the outer interaction with him lose that depth, that real connection. Gurdjieff often says, if you see me as just, and he puts his hand like this form, you've never known me. You've never seen me. You've never really tasted who I am. Because he is that Satchitananda. He is that experience that's beyond the outer expression. And so to sit in silence, to do the meditations, the processes, that's where he wants you to be. That's where the real connection, that's where real satsang happens. It's the outer expression. Satsang is the company of the truth. The company is having that in your heart and being in the heart of the truth also. And so never mistake all the outer phenomenon, you know, as pleasurable as they can be. They're going to come and go, come and go, come and go, and you'll miss out on the real juice. So, you know, I mean, I know the temptation, but I guarantee you'll be much more satisfied in your relationship with Guruji if you drop into the depth of taking the silence course with him.
Very well.
Make sense?
Like you said, right, that the real juice is in being in that infinite silence that he is, and not getting too caught up in the outer expression, which is his body. Yeah. There's also some questions in some of our volunteers' mind, or as we are calling participants, we are getting some questions around the price of the course. And we have to make all these arrangements. So there is a fee for the course, and some folks feel that maybe the course fee is too high. So any reaction or any advice there?
Yeah, you know, I've heard that question, time, and you have to pick some price, right? I mean, the reality is $10,000 for what you get is cheap. You know, 30,000. I mean, how do you put a price on it? So, you know, we come and we find a price that really is reasonable, you know, for what you're getting, the time with Guruji, the knowledge, you know, the course location, the venue, the food. You know, you just can't, I'll tell you, you will not, let me say it this way, at the end of your life, when you're laying there, you know, you've done everything you wanted to do, you're not going to go, oh, I wish I hadn't spent all that money on that silence course. You're probably going to be saying, I wish I'd taken even more opportunity, because things will be really in perspective. So, you know, don't get hung up. I mean, cost, there is the practicality of it. I understand. And if it really, 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 you know, okay. But I'm sure for 99.9% of you, it's something that is very doable and manageable. Just drop that concept. It's just a concept in your mind, some resistance that's there. Just honor it. Okay, we're just going to go for it. All right?
Yeah, well said again. As folks who have experienced doing silence courses, many silence courses, some with Guruji, some not with Guruji, like yourself, I've heard some of our volunteers mention doing silence courses with Guruji is different because there's this longing and there's this anxiety in the heart to be with him, to be around him, which they feel might prevent them from being silent.
Hmm.
What would be your advice there?
I'm smiling because I can relate so well. For quite a few years, you know, way back in the 90s, I did that. You know, I always was running around volunteering or, you know, just quote unquote hanging out with Guruji. And I finally realized that I was missing out on what he had come there for. And even if the silence doesn't seem quite as, you know, solid as some people will be talking, the volunteers, there'll be all this hubbub going around. You know, silence is beyond all of that. And so you can keep your own silence, really realize that so much dynamism can be going on around you with other people, and it doesn't need to shake you from your smile, your depth of silence that's beyond words. So, I know that temptation. I fell into that trap, and so I want to keep you from falling into that same hole that I fell into, of thinking, oh, I need to be out there and doing all these other things, and the silence isn't as great, because I'm so distracted in the longing. Gurji will come. He'll be there for guided meditations. He'll be there for satsang. He's been coming a lot. I can't guarantee this. Recently, to do asanas and yoga with courses in the morning. So don't even, again, if my, age has given me any wisdom, it's that there are certain things that you get caught up in that don't really other people repeat, and you can pass that wisdom on. And this is one I'd really like to encourage everyone to just don't think that's really where you want to be. Just take the course. You'll have plenty of time with Guruji celebrating. He usually meets all the course participants at the end, and you can share whatever you need to share at that point. So, yeah, good.
Yeah, my personal experience is that being in silence is a preparation to soak in his presence better. If the mind is too chattery or too dynamic, as you said, sometimes we may not soak in his presence as much. But being in silence, of course, helps us do that.
Mm.
There are some folks on the phone who are new HP graduates. They've recently done the happiness program, and they want to know why they should go to the silence course. Is it too soon for them to go to the silence course right after HP?
Definitely not. For myself, after learning the introductory Sudarshan Kriya program, I was taking the silence course within a month or two after that. And Guruji has designed it so the Sudarshan Kriya, the introductory program, just by taking that program, that's enough preparation. Going through the two long kriyas, and whether you're practicing regularly or not doesn't matter. You're ready. You've been, for lack of a better term, initiated into this path. And so don't get hung up, oh, I need more time, I'm not sure I really have this. By doing the advanced course, it'll solidify all of that. It will really make so firm your connection to this knowledge, to yourself, really. And so yes. And like I was saying earlier, the silence course really shows you the depth of what Gurji's offering. It's just the tip of the iceberg that we're able to do on the introductory course. Really get to explore of what Gurji has to offer, which is really the depth of knowing who you are in such a profound, undeniable way. So yes, we're now actually teaching the happiness program and the silence course together in some locations. So people the same weekend, they're taking their introductory Sudarshan Kriya, and they're just at their first silence course at the same time.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff, for that. There are lots of volunteers on the call, on this call, who are enthusiastically, spending all their time, all possible time, making phone calls, talking to the course participants, inspiring them to come and do the silence course. And I know you've done that quite a bit. You've inspired many folks to come to the silence course. So, what is your advice to our volunteers? How can we best do this service?
Yeah, don't be counting numbers, how many calls you made and how many people signed up from that. Just know that your intention, your activity, even if someone doesn't sign up, you're touching them. And those, even if you just get one person to sign up, the merit from that, the happiness you're going to bring to that person, and then their whole relations to their family, friends, coworkers, it's enough. So don't worry about the numbers, just stay active. Gurji says, be unattached to the fruit of your actions. I don't know how many saw Gurji's commentary on the Bhagavad Gita that he did recently in India. But, that's the key component in the Bhagavad Gita. Just get up, just act to the results. You're just giving 100% from your side with enthusiasm. And whatever happens, that's the way it should be. Don't get caught up in comparing how others are doing and you're doing. Just stay in that integrity, that space of you're there to make a difference in somebody's life.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff, for that. That's a reminder of non-doership, right? Sometimes we get so stuck up in trying to fill up the course or just doing bringing more people than the other
Yeah.
volunteers that we forget this aspect of non-doership.
Yeah, the course is going to be full, so that's done. Your job is to make sure everybody hears about it and they have an opportunity. Wouldn't you feel bad if even one person who really wanted to come didn't hear about it, didn't get that phone call, didn't get inspired to come, and they miss out? And who knows what that can lead to in their life of not having this opportunity that they can take advantage of. So just, without any guilt, without any feeling, just know that you're reaching out, you're spreading the seeds, you're giving everyone an opportunity to know about this. And I mean, what better seva can there be than to just remind somebody, come, take a look at yourself for these few days.
Yeah, thanks for that inspiration. Now, a lot of Art of Living volunteers, devotees, they're all here. Other than time with the Guru, the next thing we love the most is Guru stories. So there's lots of requests, people asking for some stories. So anything you want to share some story with us.
What story? I should have been prepared for a Guru story. I knew that question was going to come. I just jumped off. I was just on a board call for IHV and just jumped onto this call. Which first was just so inspiring, all the work that Guruji has inspired with all these projects in Jordan for refugees, Syria for people who are having trauma. It's just countless, throughout the whole world, in every corner of the world, people are being transformed and coming back to their smile again. And for some reason, I'm just thinking, when I first went to India in 1991, I was there. There were only a handful of us there. We were really just building the Bangalore ashram at the time. I spent 5 months there with Gurji, and he was there every day for those 5 months. It was quite a remarkable time. And what touched me the most? He was doing the Ashtavakra commentary. It was so beautiful. The knowledge was just so transporting. We were just transported to the court, of King Janaka and Ashtavakra. But the moments that really touched me were those human moments of seeing Guruji. Yes, he was all of that, giving such high knowledge. I remember sitting in front of his very small kutir. It was just one small round. Some of you may have been to. It's called Shakti Kutir, and it wasn't much bigger than a typical bedroom in a house here in the U.S. So not very big, and that's where he did his meetings. That's where he slept. That's where he ate. That was his. And often after satsang in the evening, we'd sit with him outside of his on the lawn there, and just talk about this and that. People would be coming, other people their first time. I remember this couple, these two ladies from Poland, had just arrived, their first time to India. It was monsoon season. And they did like most Americans or Westerners do when they come to India. They stopped off in Bangalore and they bought some Indian clothes. You know, we didn't have a divine shop with clothes at the ashram at that point. So they bought their nice, you know, pajama outfit so they'd be comfortable. And so it was night, and they really wanted to come and meet Gurji. One of the ladies had never even met Gurji before, but after taking the course, she was inspired to come from Poland all the way to India. Then Gurji would have us climb up on the roof of Shakti Kutir with him to overlook the valley, you know, just to take a look around. He would point out different landmarks where we look at the stars. So we had to climb a ladder to get up to his roof, and there may be these two ladies on his roof. And of course, they wanted to climb up too. It was monsoon season. It was, you know, started getting cold. The wind was blowing a little bit. It was very, you know, moist. You know, the rain had just fallen. And one of these ladies was visibly just chilled. You know, she was starting to shiver. And remember, this is 1991. And so Gurji looked over and saw how, you know, she was cold. He had his shawl on. So he took his shawl off and wrapped it around her. Now in 1991, he only had one shawl. That was what he used at night to cover himself when he slept, for meditation. That was it. That was his one and only shawl. And in those days, Gurji also never, for whatever reasons, you know, you didn't even touch Gurji. You know, he was just sort of, you know, at that point, you know, you didn't hug him, he didn't hug you. He was very, yeah, you know. So to think, I mean, I'd never even touched his shawl. No one else probably had that I'd ever seen. So he took off this shawl without even a hesitation, wrapped it around her. I would have given anything to have had that happen to me. And I was hoping this lady from Poland was appreciating it. And as Gurji tends to do, moments later said, because they were jet lagged, he said, good, go rest. And so they both started climbing down the ladder. We were still up on the roof with Gurji. And the lady who had the shawl wrapped around her just started climbing down the ladder with his one and only sacred shawl, in my mind. And Gurji never even, you know, he didn't look back. There wasn't any hesitation like, oh, am I going to get my shawl back? It was like whatever was his and someone else was in need, he just, you know, her up. He just gave her that shawl. You know, he wouldn't have a shawl that night. He wouldn't have a shawl the next day. It wasn't even a consideration. And seeing that human level of Gurji, you know, in the midst of the high knowledge, Ashtavakra, that he was giving, really reminded me how fortunate we are to have him here as an example of not just, you know, being a Satguru, but being so human, so caring, so personally involved with each of us that I just never forgot just how endearing, how touching, to see the love expressed in such a, simple but profound way.
What a great story, Jeff. What a great story. And it truly embodies who he is. And, we can all read all the knowledge, but just seeing him in action is totally different. And
That's it.
I'm totally jealous of that Polish woman who got that shawl.
Hopefully she still has that shawl and is honoring it wherever she is. Yes.
Yeah. And if it was the only shawl he was using for so many things, I can only think how blessed she is, and I hope she realizes how blessed she is.
Yeah.
But it's really a beautiful story with an amazing message, and truly embodies, like I said, who Guruji really is and what he would like all of us to be. So after that story, I don't feel like there are any other questions. Also, I'm respectful of your time, everybody else's time. Want to really thank you on behalf of all of us, everybody who came to this call, for hanging out with us, having fun with us, sharing your stories and sharing your stories and sharing your wisdom and inspiring all of us. Thank you, Jeff. Really, really.
I really look forward to seeing everybody there. Anyone who's on this call, make sure you come up and say hi to me there in Texas. And we'll just have a wonderful time together. So thank you for allowing me to share and be a part of this with everyone. I feel like the course has started already just by having this call. So it's good.
All right, Jeff. Jai Gurudev.
Okay. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.
You belong to me. Jai Gurudev.
You.